right, and welcome back to episode, I think it's 109 of the Download Illuvium News. We've got a bit of really interesting stuff to go over today, some things covering the Illuvium Council meeting minutes. We've got a little bit of leaks and stuff over Twitter and in the Discord, and we've got some upcoming events and some alpha that Kieran has been sharing on X as well, which we will share with you at the end of the episode. Unfortunately, I don't think Taryn can make it with us today. I'm hoping he can return next week, but he's been out. He's been very, very busy. So we're just going to leave him to help out Illuvium and get things happening, which is going to be all good. I hope it's working for everyone. I am probably going to be moving off Restream for next week. So the layout and everything's going to look a little bit different, but we'll see how that goes. It's going to be a pretty interesting one, actually. I'm looking forward to seeing what all that looks like. But for now, we're on Restream for one more week. Reason is I can't afford the subscription. I am poor. The bear market has made me poor. But no, it's just not worth the money anymore. But yeah, so let's jump into it. The first thing we've got for you today. Hold on, how do I switch my thing? All right, first thing we've got for you today is the final hours of the Beyond Halloween sale happened earlier this week. With a veil between worlds is fading and your chance to claim the discs. And the sale closed Friday, November 14, 6 a.m. And you could have bought it there. So yeah, really cool. I think they probably sold about, as far as I'm aware, probably 45K to 50K discs in total, which is not too bad for one of their promo sales, especially one without an official partner and things like that. So looks like people seem to really enjoy it, or those that are really entrenched or really love the Illuvium Beyond ecosystem seem to really enjoy it, so that's really all that matters the most. After that, we've also got the Arena 1.15, which actually dropped earlier today. The next Arena update went live right before the last call IPL tournament, which is happening later today. But I really like this patch. Now, I haven't played it since it's dropped, so I'm hoping to be able to play it maybe this weekend. Maybe I'll play for the last call tournament. But yeah, so some of the big updates with this, right, are that there's faster matches. The game length before was about 38 minutes. I maintain it was probably a little bit longer than that if I had to throw my personal opinion in the mix there. But they have gotten the average game length down to 30 minutes. And that's really only if you're in the final two. So I think it's actually probably closer to 25 to 28 minutes for most of your games, which is a really good spot for Illuvium Arena. On PC, at least, I'd like to see it be shorter for mobile, but it's fine. This is a much better place than it was before, so very happy with this. Really, the base credits you get per round is higher, the damage you're dealing to opponents is higher, and they lowered the cost of levels to actually level up a lot faster. I think they can go even harder on this and get it down to max 25 minutes if they were pushing it, and I think that would be absolutely good. And so, yeah, the drone damage curve changed. I think it should do way more damage at 8 to 11 rounds, and 13 to 16 can bump up a little bit. I think that'd make a huge difference. Right now, all the damage is happening like a lot right at the end, and it's not really happening earlier on, which feels a little bit odd. It feels like you're taking damage and going for like lose streaks and things like that. And it's not actually changing the outcome of the game. It feels like nothing is actually happening in that moment. And that doesn't feel right to me. There should be a real decision, a real cost to not playing particularly well in those early rounds or playing for that lose streak in the early rounds. That being said, lose streaks don't really give you the advantage of the draft deck anymore because that has been removed, thankfully. And so there's that as well. Zephyrox up at 5 a.m. is insane. Oh, you mean maybe the sit and go as you're talking about? I'm not sure. Yeah, it starts at 3 a.m. for me and finishes at 3 p.m., I believe. I have no alpha on staking. I haven't even because I want my next video, right? I want my next video to be a staking video, okay? But I can't do that until I have the information. I don't have the information. So I haven't even written my script and my thumbnail and stuff until the info comes. I'm going to be smashing out the video in like a 4-hour period on the Saturday, all in one hit instead of throughout the week as I normally do it. So pretty annoying for me on that one, but that's what we're going to do with this, I suppose. Yeah, no alpha on the staking, I'm afraid. I tried to get a little bit of info out of the council, but they are not biting. I have no idea what shards are or what they do. I'm hoping it's something pretty cool. I am going to be staking to a certain extent. I don't know how much quite yet, but yeah, staking's insane. Yeah, launches in a few hours from now, right? It launches about 12 hours, I believe. So we keep looking at this. They added a bunch more languages to the menus and things like that. I don't mind the staggered rollout. Just get whatever you have done, just get it out. I'm really liking to see that. Looking forward to it being introduced into the game. I think it's quite important, but really great that it's starting to be rolled out, and they've got a lot of languages in here. I would have just done one or two of them. Maybe it's easier to do a lot of them at once, but I would just smash out one or two of the really important ones and just started doing the other languages much later on. So I don't know why they're doing it this way. I personally don't see a major benefit. But at the same time, I'm glad they're getting them all out there, and it's a good range of languages. We're seeing Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, Filipino, which is quite important for this industry. Japanese is really good as well. Don't know how important Italian and French are, but maybe they're pretty good. Spanish is a big one, obviously. German and Arabic seem like a little bit flex there. Portuguese, pretty good one too. A lot of really, really great language there. Russian seems like a bit of a flex as well. Improved client connectivity. I did notice this on testnet. Don't know how good this is on mainnet, so going to have to wait till I test it out myself on this one. Augment relocation controls seem to be improved. That wasn't working on testnet, so we'll see if it's on mainnet. And opponent credits in the tab menu, which I personally really like. I don't think everyone's going to love that one, but I personally think it's really good. Better XP gain breakdown is really good to see as well. Team planner while queuing is absolutely massive. Love to see that. And the region battle boards all look so good. I hope we are able to buy them at some point. I don't know which one I would get. I really love Tiger Boreal so much, so maybe that one. But yeah, and imprint tailoring has changed quite a bit. Less guaranteed than before, but smarter overall as well. So really good stuff. And a bunch of balance adjustments. I'm not going to bore you with that today. Shards are to make bound alluvials in MMO NFTs. That is a really, Taylor says that's Web3's guess. I think that's a really good guess. I might make a whole video on that. That's a really good guess. I know that you'll have to pay in some way. I guess it could make sense that you spend fuel and or crypto to buy shards in the MMO and you use that to make them NFTs. I think that's a winner. I think that's 100% what it is. You've convinced me, Taylor, and Web3 for the original idea. You've convinced me. I'm 99% confident that's what it is until a team member tells me it's not. And it might not be, or it might be more complex than that. I don't know. It might be a combination of shards and fuel. And shards is kind of a crypto that you can trade with other people. There might be more nuance to it. But I think that's probably correct. That's really made me think. Yeah. Because I don't think it's something obvious, so maybe it's not that. But like all the speculation I've had so far has been like the really obvious stuff. I don't think it's any of that sort of stuff. Okay, so Daydream Tournament, Staking V3 launch party. So they're going to do that on Illuvium Voice at 7 a.m. I won't be there. Sorry, guys. Illuvium Council's Voice and Play at 8:30 a.m. The final tournament called Tournament Qualifier at 3 a.m. And then the final call tournament at 1 a.m. on the following day and things like that. So really great to see all this sort of stuff happening. Like a gacha spin mechanism. Oh, that's a good one too. Oh, I'm going to screenshot this. Those are both good. Those are going in a video. All right, I got me a screenshot. Because Web3 thinks it's to make bound alluvials in MMO into NFTs. And Big Man thinks it might be something like a gacha spin mechanism. Because I actually have some alpha I found for you today that might actually lead to the gacha mechanism idea. Because I have a feeling they're actually going to close down automated drone runs. And that would make sense for shards to bring back automated drone runs. So I don't think they're going to close forever or anything like that. And so that actually leads into itself right there. That's a really good catch. Okay. So we're at this one from Roger. We can see so many players in the world. They've all got their alluvials out. Really, really cool to see all that. What's interesting here is we can see the green glow on multiple alluvials, kind of assuming that he sent out multiple, or maybe he's in a party or something like that. I don't know. Very interesting. But it's really great to see all the rangers getting together at the same time, which is going to be one of the more fun aspects of the MMO. Not just running around, hunting down enemies, capturing illuvials, things like that. Doing it while you can see other players in the same world, and maybe you're competing for an illuvial. That's personally what I find to be quite interesting. And I hope that there's a lot of social elements in there or interaction with other players, which are going to make the game far more engaging and far more interesting. So I hope they really go down that route, like we're kind of seeing from these leaks. We can see mark the date, November 20, staking V3. We can also see that shards, earn them, climb higher, prove your power. What will your shards unlock? And then we can see from the MMO heating up thing right here, we can see some brand new footage. I've reached level 4. There's quite a few enemies. They've got more interesting attacks now. They're shooting these little energy beams before. You can see the disc flying around, the sword effects and things, and the attack motions look a lot more interesting there as well. A lot of combat, a lot of actions happening in the environment right here. Very, very cool. I really love to see that sort of stuff. Very good leak. We've also got 2 new boost systems rewarding loyal participants. Multiplier bonus where you lock longer and you earn more shards. And an OG boost, meaning your past commitment boosts your future rewards. 2 systems, 1 purpose. You maximize what you earn. I really want to know what these shards do, and I hope we find out maybe several weeks in advance of whatever they are becomes activated or something like that. But I hope we find out not too... I kind of hope we find out just as it happens, but I also really want to know a lot more in advance. Otherwise, it feels a little bit annoying to put it lightly. But yeah. Big Man thinks if it's a gacha thing that you can earn, I can see it being a major driving mechanic to keep players playing. That's a funny way to view it, okay? So I always liked that the ILV token was completely separate from the game, okay? I think that is important. I think the game needs to be driven by its own game systems and mechanics, and the ILV token is more betting on the ecosystem, the company, and things like that. It's less about using ILV token to play the game. Now, if the shard system is, maybe not if it's a gacha, but maybe if it's an NFT creator system where you turn your non-NFTs into NFTs or whatever, I feel like the NFTs are parallel to the game. The game is just you're playing the game, collecting alluvials, whatever. The NFT side of things is completely optional, completely additional. Then if the ILV token works into that in some way, with that, maybe that's the only way to get the shards, then I think that could actually work pretty well and would add all this utility to the ILV token outside of revenue that it does sorely need. I think it does need utility of some kind outside of revenue. I think that would be a good way to do it. So I could see all that as well. And yeah, grinding for them would be pretty valuable too. But I think whatever it needs to be for, it can't be acquired any other way. And I think that's pretty important too. So there's a big balancing act there, but I think the team's learned enough along this journey that I definitely think they're going to be fine on this front. And so I'm curious to see what it is. We can see Null taking flight, doing heaps of damage. Oh my god. Out damage in the range of like 5-1 there, which is absolutely insane. Love to see that. We've got another leak here of a new ability. He's summoning the orb and it's flying at the enemy. Good to see that it's not targeting the original location of the enemy and rather tracking to them. As you can see, it's moving to the right. It is tracking to it, landing, trapping it, and then exploding. Pretty cool animation on that one too. We can also see that Roger is confirming that the green glow VFX is well and truly placeholder, and so it will be removed at some point. And we can also see Neil commenting on some things where they found the rating desync issue, and once you find the problem, you're halfway the way there to fixing it. Finding the bug is often the most difficult part of defeating the bug. Let's put it that way. And Patat made some really good commentary here about the synergy crate system and how he wants to see it change. The big thing at the bottom here is putting the crate on the unit of your choice to choose between the 2 synergies. So highly controlled environment there, or you get 4 options, which would make it a lot less RNG than it currently is, but still somewhat RNG and heavily tailored to your unit. So pretty good like that as well. And yeah, there's been good comments on this, but people seem to really like these 2 options in general. 15 votes for something in governance is pretty good on the thing. So a lot of people have seen it, viewed it, and put their poll out there. So really cool to see. We've also got this new portal, which is where the meeting minutes are currently going. And I want to talk through these for a hot minute. Oh my God, I'm actually really hungry. It's starting to make me a bit faint. I'm fine. I'm not fine. I'm going to try and be fine. Okay. First one is market conditions. Capital raise documentation is currently being prepared by Kieran. It sounds like even if they don't capital raise right now, they're getting it ready, but hopefully they're going to go for some sort of preliminary capital raise to just get some money injection in, which I think would be quite good. But the remaining details fall under NDA, obviously. They want to stop the overworld bounty hunt. The council discussed the timeline for concluding the bounty hunt, which is the earning mechanics and system inside the Illuvium Overworld right now. Once it ends, the automated drone runs will also be discontinued. This is what I was talking about before. And so shards could factor in to the return of automated drone runs, which I think is quite possible. But it's interesting because I quite like drone runs. But yeah, I don't know how that's going to factor in the future, but going to be interesting to see the community's feedback on all of that. And the specific end date remains under consideration. Sounds like they don't know yet. Maybe next year sometime. I don't think it's going to be 2025, but you never know. So if you wanted to add a bunch of Illuviums to collection via this method, now is one of your last chance to probably do so. I've given you the warning. I've given you the alpha. I'm spreading the word of the IMC meeting minutes. The council has discussed the idea to give some vested ILV tokens, which will factor in. Kane did donate 100,000 of his ILV tokens to the Illuvium DAO for this very purpose. So they're going to be vested ILV. They're not going to hit the market yet. And they're going to go to Illuvium Labs employees as an incentive to increase motivation and align their interests. And the meeting minutes migration, they're all coming over to this platform, obviously. The other thing is that Illuvium's staking V3 is going on base. We got this confirmed by Kieran a little while back, but you can see it here as well. We've also got some great posts from community members who are loving the Illuvium Arena. Phenomenon says the game is great. You can see he's a parallel player, so really great to see parallel people starting to come around to the idea of the Illuvium, and vice versa. I think a lot of Illuvium players are really enjoying parallel and things like that as well. But yeah, he thinks it's a really good game. He's really enjoying it, and he thinks it's well polished and well complete, which is something people underestimate. There aren't many games in this space that I would say are as polished and complete as Illuvium. It's probably one of maybe 10 that I would say are complete games to a certain extent. So really cool to see that as well. Web3 Gods also loving it, said it was a lot of fun at the game night that they had. And I assume there's some gameplay in there as well. They seem to really enjoy their time with it. Kieran also said that on the 20th they launch it. This makes us the largest gaming project building on the base network. If you've ever staked in the Illuvium protocol, you'll have an OG boost waiting for you. Time to bring liquidity back. Love to see the hype man back at it again. And we have this one, which is the most interesting post we got this week. Since we revamped Arena, he's noticed a bunch more positive tier lists. I agree. I've seen them all myself as well. By the way, Project O at the front there, fantastic game. Recommend you check it out. Some very exciting updates coming in the next couple of weeks, not related to Arena. Risk to earn, they say, which is really interesting. Risk to earn and not related to Arena. You guys know that I've been harping on that Arena and Leviathan in particular needs, like, you put up an entry fee of some kind, winner takes the pot and things like that. I would love to see that sort of stuff. It seems like these sorts of ideas and concepts are coming to Illuvium, but not necessarily coming to the Arena. I don't want to speculate on what that could be, but it's very exciting. I think risk to earn is a big future for crypto gaming as a whole. And I'm glad that Illuvium is finally entertaining the concept and the idea, and they're going to push forward to adding it in to the Illuvium ecosystem in some way. And I can't wait to see what they've come up with. I hope it's really fun. I hope it's really interesting. I don't necessarily want it to be a new game. I really hope they would work it into even like Overworld PvP. That'd be sick. Or like MMO PvP or whatever, right? That'd be so cool. But I hope it's engaging. I hope it's not just like some really basic thing. But at the same time, risk to earn is where it's at. I think whatever they do, people will love it, especially the Illuvium community. I mean, we've got a lot of assets to risk. We've got some tokens and things to risk. Maybe shards will play into it. Who knows? Either way, very excited. How's it going, YG? Yeah. And I need to go eat some food or I'm going to pass out. So with that, I'll leave you guys. Hopefully, Taryn will be back next week. I really hope so. And with that, the download is complete. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Have a good one.